Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are live on Twitch and YouTube right now. If you like podcasts, well, forget about that. Go to our stream. Check that out. Podcasts are done.
Oh,
We're moving on.
It's
streaming now. It's all
okay.
streaming now. We're on Twitch and YouTube. Search Tom and Dan Live. And again, as always, we are a 100% AI-free show.
Well, that's not true.
It is true.
I know.
You can say anything now. You can lie to
time.
people now. I don't know if you know this, but you can lie to people now to their face. Totally okay.
If you want to listen to all of our shows on demand,
Yes.
on podcast form, you could download the app.
Yeah, free.
Just search Tom and Dan on your app store.
All of our stuff is free, and it's a good thing because with a little thing called subscription fade, we were ahead of the game. We knew you guys didn't want to pay for this stuff, so we made it all free.
No, we have the BDM subscription.
No, I know.
That
but
you
the
have to
other
pay
stuff,
for.
we made all the other stuff free because we knew eventually they'd be like,
I can't afford this. Gotta go. Got Netflix, Hulu, Paramount Plus, Crackle. You got a Crackle?
I saw a BDM announce on the page that he could no longer afford his BDM
and then Big
subscription.
Rick stepped up. He said, "I'll pay for your account, sir."
Yeah. And then I felt like, because everybody was mentioning that, even I threw in a snarky.
Did you throw in a snark?
I'll give you $195. That's a passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Because
I'm glad you did that.
because
I noticed you've been a little feistier on the BDM page. I like feisty Tom.
and then the other
Is it
people.
the weight loss? Like you're taking that chiseled jaw and you're whacking it around a little bit.
No. Well, now I'm not exercising, getting fat again because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. My
But it makes you
doctor's a
feel good.
GD liar.
It makes you feel. Don't say that.
Yeah, he is a liar. He said, hey, if you lose some weight, all these numbers will
How
go down.
would you lose more weight?
50 pounds I lost.
No, but how would you lose
nothing
more weight?
changed.
If you lost 10 more pounds, you're going to look a little weird.
Yeah, I mean, then I was
It's
just
gonna
be
look a
losing
little-
muscle
it's gonna look
or
a little
whatever,
weird.
I think. But anyway, I'm going to get fat again. No
Okay.
point.
All right, the chat room's very happy about that. EJ's very happy about that.
Yeah.
He wants Fat Tom back, he says.
Yeah. Because then nothing will change.
Now, how would you feel? This is the last we'll do on this. How would you feel if you did, let's say you gain, you're not going to go back to being, your biggest. Let's say you gain a solid 15, 20 pounds.
Yeah.
And you're more like just normal, dad bod, Tom.
Yeah.
And you go to do your blood work, and it's A-okay.
And then it's better.
Yeah. How is that going to make you feel? Is that going to, or is that
I'm going to start yelling at the doctor.
That'll make you mad.
Yeah, I'm going to start yelling at
Yeah.
science and the doctors and just be like, well, explain this. And the explanation is some people just have bad body chemistry. And
I mean,
look,
look,
it's all bad.
I'm still convinced that I didn't fully form.
Yeah.
That's why my hips are rotten, my knee is rotten.
Bad roll of the dice.
Yeah, I got all the bad stuff. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. And we would like to do, you want to do some emails?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, you can email us, show@tomanddan.com. We'd love for you to email us because I always like the questions that come from the listeners. That is, interacting with the listeners is my favorite thing. I realized that today when I was doing that because a lot of times I'm fixing accounts or talking to them and I'm thanking them for emails and stuff like that. It's my favorite part.
All right. It's not my favorite part.
Okay, that's fair. That's
No,
fair.
I'm
I know
joking.
you like the money part. I know you like that part.
I just like the money.
Yeah.
And
You've
that's really
said
it.
that. You've said that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I hear you when they're talking to your mom.
Yeah.
Like, hey guys, how's it going?
It's not even that much.
I love you. It's not. But you love them.
It's like
that's what makes it more precious, though. The fact that it isn't that much makes it more.
Yeah.
It makes it more precious.
It was like I could really just do any job and make this money.
Yeah, true. This is a normal job. Like I could manage a Chick-fil-A and do better.
Yeah.
If I managed a Chick-fil-A, I could do better. Okay, first email. This is from Patty. We'll have to flag this one because this one is a question for a time when Seth is on, or do you want me to go ahead and do it?
No, do it. I could answer for him.
Okay, this question is for the next time Seth is on. Was he on the season of Ultimate Fighter where they went #1 in someone's fruit? It seems like a Seth thing to do. Thank you, Patty. Thank you for the email. Can we call him?
Yeah, we can call him. I bet he's he'll answer.
Okay, I'm gonna say that wasn't him, but he'll laugh at it.
Okay, I'm just gonna
Because
call
they're all sort of the same, guys. Here's the thing that at least I know about MMA fighters is that a lot of MMA fighters cut from the same cloth.
Hello, you've reached Seth Petrozelli.
Whoa, and he sent you to voicemail.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
That was a sin.
Yeah,
Is he in there? He might be in there. Sometimes he watches the BDM
No,
show.
he's in there and he answered the phone. But to answer that question, if he
Can't
was
believe
on
he
that
sent you to
season,
voicemail.
if he was on that season, he went number one.
Yeah.
But
But I'm
that's,
gonna say it wasn't him. I'm gonna say that like just because I think like a lot of those guys do that kind of stuff. They love
no,
it.
yeah.
They love it.
Yeah.
You know? If there's a pie, they're putting their balls in it. Like it's just, that's the way it goes.
That's what bros do.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah. They get around, they
Yeah.
slap each other's ass,
Yeah,
they go
yeah.
number one on
Yeah,
all
yeah.
each other's food.
Yeah, bite a hole through the cheese, put their tongue through it.
Yeah.
They're doing all kinds of
Yeah.
they do all kinds of crazy things.
Yeah.
They
It's-
tuck their wings and then they jump
Yeah.
around like I'm a girl.
Yeah, they just get stuck in a teenage boy
Yeah.
mentality, right?
Yeah, and then they start jumping around naked and they're doing highly gay things, not gay.
But you know who doesn't do that? Amon-Ra St.
No.
Right? I mean, like, that guy's all business.
I have been
So,
watching
but
Receiver and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
But he's a crazy athlete, just like Seth and all these MMA
I don't
fighters.
like watching Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra is too intense for me. I like it. I had him.
But George Kittle does that.
George Kittle is
yeah.
more a daddy.
Yeah.
I'm watching. Have you started it yet?
No,
you got to
no,
get
no.
on it, dude. It's so good. I'm watching the show Receiver. I am more like a George Kittle. Kittle is fun. His wife drives a bus to the games with a naked him on the side of it. It's him in a pair of Chubbies. It's sponsored by Chubbies. It's him in tiny shorts.
She drives the Chubby's bus.
Yeah, with the whole family on it. Kittle's partying, dude. His wife used to be a basketball player. She's an athlete too. She's hot. Yeah, Kittle looks like he's having the fun. No kids, just wants to, make s'mores with his wife and hang out. She's smoking hot. She drives a bus with naked George Kittle on the side of it. It's awesome. All right, next email. This is from our very good friend, and I guess I could say former publicist, Linda Zimmerman.
Okay.
Remember Linda?
Yeah.
She's had multiple successful marketing companies. She's been an award-nominated podcaster in her own right. Her question, short and simple: French fries, coleslaw, or a little bit of both?
Well, it depends on what you're eating, I feel. Because
I have a feeling she's going barbecue.
Yeah, if you barbecue,
It's all.
Then, yeah. Like
I want them all.
coleslaw is really good with barbecue.
I'm a big fan of my favorite barbecue sandwich is smoked pulled pork. I want vinegar sauce on top of the pulled pork.
Yeah.
Then I want a dollop of chopped, not shredded. My mouth's watering.
Yeah,
Chopped coleslaw.
Oh,
Chopped with the vinegar bite and pepper in the coleslaw. Chopped vinegar and pepper right in the center. Brioche bun, toasted, little bit of butter.
Hot barbecue sauce.
Hot barbecue sauce.
Yeah, the hottest.
The
Triple
hottest
X.
you can. Crinkle fries, collard greens, baked beans, mac and cheese. That'll do it.
All right.
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
You know, I like it when the hottest hot sauce that you offer in a barbecue restaurant is named either after the worst pornography or some sort of death. Like, you know, like it's.
Oh, you haven't tried round the corner fudges, made?
Like I want fire, death.
Yeah.
I want killer,
Explosions.
murders.
Death from above.
Yeah, and or any sort of lots of X's.
Yeah.
And then that's.
What if they started naming it after stuff that was truly sinister? Like, what if they're like, oh, try our P. Diddy. What? Oh, my God. Give him the mild. What's the mild, Dog the Bounty Hunter? I'm worried about him. I bring it up all the time, but I am worried about Dog the Bounty Hunter, dude. I think he's being held captive by Francine. Can I start that rumor? Am I allowed to say that?
He's just an old man.
No. Francine, who came in pretty quick after Moon Baby.
Yeah.
Because he was dating, and I thought married to Moon Baby, but Francine swooped in, and now you go to Dog's account, it's, hey, it's Francine, and then Dog will peek his head from around the corner and be like, and Dog. I think he's being held captive.
I think if you're an eccentric middle-aged man, right? And
Are you looking at me?
No. I'm like the Gary Buseys of the world, or I'm trying to think. Remember,
Dog looks highly medicated, dude.
Who's-
He looks like he's on an edible.
Yeah.
He
that
looks
could
like
be
he's
it,
on a
yeah.
lot of edibles, and he's just kind of sitting there, and he's got his
Yeah.
Oakleys on with the, remember he used to wear the Oakleys with the headphones, and he's got his blades on, and he's all black, and he's just sitting there, and he is not there, dude.
Who's that one conspiracy theorist, former governor that was in the movie Predator?
Jesse Ventura.
Jesse Ventura.
Yeah.
Like, he's another one that he's like super eccentric, middle-aged man. You turn into a ultra crazy old man.
But I think Dogs was fast.
Yeah, I think I mean, you can get to the point where you cannot even talk
Yeah,
anymore.
that's where he's going. That's what it looks. Am I
like
going down that path?
comatose.
Am I going down that path?
No. You're not as like you need to be over the top. Yelling crazy things all the time, and then once you get older, because it just progressively gets worse and worse, and then you become super crazy.
Nothing makes me
Like,
happier.
I don't think you could even talk to Gary Busey at this point.
Oh no, butter sausage. That's fake. That's
No,
fake.
yeah, but he's just ultra crazy.
Yeah. I do like crazy old men though, and nothing makes me happier than knowing every time you guys go to Marco, I'm like, say hi to Dog the Bounty Hunter for me. Dog the Bounty Hunter and his new bride Francine live on Marco Island. Mwah. Chef's kiss. All right. This one is from Jeff. Longtime listener, first-time emailer. On a recent ACT, you and Tom were discussing phone-free live events and were wondering if there were any band or music acts that have tried this. One major touring act that has done this is Jack White. I've seen 2 of his shows, one solo concert and one with his side project, The Raconteurs, where he enforced a phone-free policy by having a vendor that would give you a neoprene pouch where you could keep your phone on your person but cannot access it unless you go to designated areas in the venue where those phones are permitted. If you follow Jack, you know that this is very on brand. He's a huge proponent for more pure concert and music listening experiences. They were hands down 2 of the most enjoyable concerts that I've ever been to, and I noticed that no one seemed to really mind. The audience was more engaged, the energy of the show was top notch, and I found that more conversations were taking place with fellow fans before the show, between the opening act and the main act, and during the set breaks. Worth noting that I'm an avid concert goer and have been for hundreds of shows. The impact of the show being phone-free was not only noticeable, but was nothing but positive. Although I understand why more acts would not embrace this policy, I would be here for it. Flashed me back to a time when smartphones and made for an overall much more enjoyable concert-going experiences. Also worth mentioning that the vendor who provided the bags did a great job, and the entry and exit process was extremely easy and didn't cause any issues or holdups.
Interesting. So he paid for the company to take your phone and do the whole thing.
Like, okay, so I'm going to see Casey Musgraves.
Okay.
And me and May love Casey Musgraves.
All right.
And she's pretty soft-spoken, laid back. I'd say female country singer, but a lot of her music is like, it's just chill, right?
Yeah.
It would be a lot better if people were off their phones. It just would, because it's a more quiet listening experience, and I would pay for it if they said, "Hey, you can pay an extra." I'm not good at these. You're good at these, but maybe I pay an extra $50.
Oh, it's not that much. I mean, it's probably it's $5 a person that they go.
No, I'm saying how much would I go to get that experience?
Yeah, okay.
I'd pay an extra $50 on the top of the ticket. Like your ticket's $100, I'd go $150 for it to be lights free.
Does it bother you when people have their phones out?
If they're near me, it does.
Okay.
Yeah, not around me. No, that's your business. I mean,
Yeah.
you got to look at your phone and stuff. I don't care.
It never.
But sometimes people have their light going, and then what they'll do is they'll put it up, and I get weirded out by people, and probably just the way I was raised, but if the venue says no flash photography and you pull your phone out and you're taking flash photography and we're close, that's making me uncomfortable. I don't like that. Don't do that. We were told not to do that. It's also just respectful for everybody else. So I have I get embarrassed for other people doing things because they're not following the rules or something. My daughter's like that too.
Yeah. It makes you uncomfortable that someone else is doing the thing that you just said not to do.
Yeah, I'm like, why are you doing that? Turn your light off. Please, turn your light off. And then they'll just keep doing it.
Yeah. I see. I haven't.
It's normally an older white lady, and she's just snapping photos. Flash. It's just like, please stop.
I haven't noticed, although I never go to concerts, so I don't know. But any concert, the phone thing and other people having them hasn't ever been an issue, but I can see how it is. And, even when we went to see Chappelle, having no one have their phone it was like it was the 90s again, where you're like, oh, wow, this is odd because you're so used to it. Although, for me, because I never noticed anybody else doing anything, doesn't matter to me.
Oh, I never thought.
That
makes sense.
I don't care or notice what other people are doing. So it's just nothing.
And peripheral, like if you're shining your light to get video or and it's hitting me in the sides, it's just you're ruining my experience.
Yeah. I've never seen someone be that egregious with filming or taking pictures. Usually people are somewhat cool.
Man, I hate to say it, somebody was doing it the last Descendants show we were at.
Oh, yeah.
At House of Blues. Yeah, they were just up on the balcony, just light on, taking video. I'm like, you don't need to do that, man.
Yeah, that's odd. That's an odd thing.
You don't need
what
to
are you
do that.
videoing?
You're also not going to watch that. You're not going to watch that video.
Yeah,
I'll bet $1 million you won't watch it. This is a great email. I thought this was really, really funny. Good morning, Tom and Dan. Over the years, there have been many segments that went hard for a while, but then fell off the cliff into the abyss. I propose an entire week of ACT shows dedicated to abandoned segments that we've all forgotten. Here are a few to get you started. Tom Van's Email Justice. That was one of my favorites. I think I even wrote a song for that.
I don't even remember what that is. I have no recollection of that.
I thought I wrote a song for Tom Van's Email Justice.
What was it?
I don't remember. Now, you're asking the wrong guy. I got the worst memory. What's Shakin' Granny? I remember that one. That's when we were going to have people's grandmas call in, and we were going to interview them.
Yeah. Didn't we get one?
We got one grandma.
Okay, yeah.
But
no one else.
I would bring that one back. What's Shakin' Granny? Talking to old people is awesome. They always have something funny to say, some sort of tidbit of knowledge, something.
You say that, but usually when unless the person is like totally unfiltered.
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah, they're talking.
Just
everything they have to say is so boring.
Well, I don't think that. No, I would disagree with that. I mean, Kratom Carey, he's an old guy. He's pretty funny.
Not that old. He
Harold,
just emailed me.
Harold, he's pretty old.
Yeah, that wasn't
that ship may have sailed. I don't know. Daniel got high and created a game. I could do that one again. Yeah, I could do. Bird Wednesday. I would never bring back Bird Wednesday. Then he said Sports with Lee. Yeah, that one's probably sailed too. As a treat, here's the original Weird Job Wednesday post that Tom made, and then he printed it out. This is from November 28th of 2017. I want to do a segment on ACT called Weird Job Wednesday where we talk to one person a week about their weird job. I got the idea when I saw an armored truck driver getting a sub at Publix. If you have a weird job, and send Lee an email. Okay, we'll skip that part.
That's the only one that lasted. Although it
was it the guy that used to have the floppy holster? You probably didn't notice him. We used to have a guy in that armored truck, and he was more of a heavy-set Spanish gentleman that had an old-school gray leather holster that you would have to tie above your knee.
Okay.
But he'd never tie the part above your knee, and his gun would just keep flapping and hitting the side of his leg as he'd walk through Publix, and I'd always see it. I'd be like, God, you got a floppy revolver, man. Never have a floppy revolver.
Hey, it's funny you notice that, because if you would ask me...
I cannot notice. I'm standing there. I'm like, I'm hearing the pattern of his revolver slapping against his thigh, and it's making drums in my brain.
I couldn't even tell you what color hair anybody has. If you're like, what race are the armored truck drivers at Publix that we see all the time? I have no idea.
Normally Spanish.
I have no idea.
Yeah, firefighters, white guys, mustache, tattoos. They're like kind of buff.
Yeah.
They all look the same. All firefighters, they got calf tattoos. They look like they do CrossFit. Come on, you know what they look like. Here's another one. This is from Seth in Lake Wales. He says, hey, Dan, I was listening to a BDM show from a couple of weeks ago, and you were going to Spencer's and getting some retro Hooters stuff. I did. I went to Spencer's. I got a retro Hooters racing basketball jersey. I got a Hooters shirt. My daughter got some stuff, some hats. It was all like 50% off. It just made me think, and you might already know this, but were you aware that Hooters sponsored an arena football team in the 90s for a couple of seasons called the Miami Hooters? They weren't particularly good, mind you, but I've always found it pretty funny and on point with 90 sports teams and leagues like the AFL, which included some sponsored teams like the New Jersey Red Dogs, named for the beer brand, and even the Toronto Phantoms, named for a company that produced a women's hosiery. Just thought you'd get a kick out of it. Seth from Lake Wales, and then he included some of the original logos
of the Miami Hooters.
Of the Miami Hooters. I got to track down a Miami Hooters football shirt, right? I got to track that down.
I mean, do you think
that's pretty cool?
You think there's one Miami Hooters shirt
somewhere
online?
Yeah. Somewhere.
eBay or something?
Yeah. You know what's really popular now, and I'm not anti it, is guys will find those logos, clean them up a little bit, and then just start reprinting them and say, like, come and get me. Because Hooters ain't got the money. They just lost their racing sponsorship. Hooters has no money.
Yeah. They're not gonna.
They're not coming after you.
They'll send you a cease and desist, but
it's probably meaningless. What are they gonna do?
Yeah. People don't realize, like, they're like, oh yeah, but they could sue you, but they're like, but it would be more money than they could get to sue you. So they're never gonna do that. You know, like,
you don't have any money.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to pay lawyers to get what from you? You're selling some Hooters shirts. You've made no money. You know what I'm saying? What you've made, let's say at the most you made $800. Well, that's 1 hour of lawyers' work. You know what I'm saying? So, like, they'll never go after you for a small amount. They can't recoup anything. In fact, no lawyer is going to sue anybody but a giant corporation because there's no money in it. Even if someone is, like, quote unquote, you think they're rich, like, oh, they got a big house and they got nice cars, they don't have any money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so they're all
sure.
in debt. You know, like, they don't have a vault of millions of dollars sitting there for you to take. They have a lot of stuff. They make a lot of money. They spend it all.
They're steady closing locations. I mean,
they have $300,000 in debt in their house. All their cars are still under payments. Like, they have no money. No one's gonna take anything.
Absolutely true. But like, it will be interesting to see what happens with Hooters from my perspective, because I just think it's going the way of Playboy. It'll become like the Owl, or I forget his name. Is it Owlie or Hooter or
they'll probably
Hootie? I think it's Hootie.
They'll probably have a couple Hooters just to stay open and continue to make money nostalgia-wise or whatever. But
maybe just beach towns, kind of like the old Hard Rock cafes.
Yeah,
you know, they used to be super popular, but Hard Rock is still around. But like now they're more like venues, right?
But I guess what happens if the entire company, corporation goes bankrupt and then is nothing?
Well,
can you still own and operate the Hooters restaurant? Like,
I don't think you can.
You'd have to buy,
but they can still use their brand as a vintage, like I'm thinking they will, like Playboy, because if you're a young person and you want to show people that you harken back to the 90s. What's more 90s than Hooters, or Playboy?
Millennials that are now, middle-aged, they remember Hooters, will continue to go there and take their kids as a joke or whatever.
Like the broccoli heads now, the little broccolis that are all out there, those guys. I mean, that haircut's it was just an 80s haircut. That's where it just came through. So we're at 2024. The broccoli originally was in the 80s. Why do I know this? Because I researched it last night. The original year of the broccoli hair, 1980. So that's where we are in 2024. We're in
40 years later.
We're 40 years later. We're in that cycle.
Okay.
So we will be entering the 90s, and we are. You can see it. You can see the pendulum
with style, but not mentality.
No,
not with
mentality.
The mentality of the 90s is gone.
No, everyone's offended about everything.
Yeah. The racism and the sexism of the 90s, and that's what's killing Hooters.
Yeah. You're right,
because that makes the current broccoli heads uncomfortable.
Yeah, they're like, I can't sit here with. I can't sit. This girl's got her boobs out. I can't sit here. This is inappropriate.
The whole restaurant is named Hooters.
That's the best part. That's what I've always said. I thought nobody knew that. I thought nobody picked up on that.
Although Twin Peaks, I don't think is having any financial problems.
No, I bet they are. They just don't talk about it. Hooters was the OG. And
they're so big.
They had so many that Hooters, I mean.
We're seeing just maybe 40% of the restaurants close down, which is an insane amount because they got so big.
I mean, I couldn't tell you where a wing house is now. And that used to be you and I. That used to be our
it's
joint.
It's in the same place.
But that used to be our joint. No, some of them are gone. We used to have one right up here. Gone.
Oh, really?
And then there was another one down here. Gone.
Yeah. Although the wing house, even though they had similar waitress attire,
they used to be sluttier, though. Can we talk about it?
For
a hot minute.
More than Twin Peaks?
Yeah, for a hot minute. Hooters had to straighten up their act, and all the girls were just kind of like, they'd had like full bottom. They were almost dressed like a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader.
Okay.
And then Wing House, like, you'd go in there and you'd get a girl that was like, it's just my second day, and she'd have a thong on. And you'd be like, what?
They did do like lingerie.
They did lingerie.
Fridays
I went there with you a couple times. We get the pirate beers, the big pirate beers.
Yeah. We're all sitting around like, we're all disgusting.
Yeah, look at her. I see camel toe. Drink your beer. All right.
It was a different time, man.
That was like 8.5 years ago.
It was not 8.5 years ago. I didn't do that as my daughter was being born. I wish I was.
It was like, okay, 15
I wish I was
years
doing
ago.
that.
Double that.
Maybe a little more than that. Maybe a little more than that.
No, it was 15.
15, you think?
Yeah, because 2010, because I was still in the Predators in 2010.
I feel like it was more 06, 07 for some reason. Feels nicer to me.
I guess. I mean, the height of it.
When I was going there all the time. All right, let's you want to do a couple more?
Yeah.
This one's from our buddy John, big-time listener, and always emails. Hey, guys, I think I found proof that Tom is, in fact, not a robot. He's just an alien. You both need to watch the Resident Alien series. It's a very, very funny series. 3 seasons are out now, and the 4th is coming. We watched it on Netflix and Amazon, I believe. The main character, Harry Vanderspiegel, seems to be based on Mr. Tom Van. In the show, Harry is a space alien who lands on Earth. A lot of the show is Harry just trying to understand humans and how he interacts with normal people. Harry is super logical and doesn't have or understand emotions. He has this constant inner monologue done via voice-over narration, like how Tom is up in his head doing constant micro-calculations. It's actually uncanny how similar the character Harry and Tom are. Tom and Harry also have the exact same laugh. BDM John. There you go.
And what show is this?
It's called Resident Alien.
All
I
right.
have not. People are saying it's a great show. A lot of people are saying it's really, really funny.
Well, I
Christine
mean,
likes it. DeBerry Joe in the chat room likes it. EJ likes it. SJ. Dude, this is getting high marks from everybody. How long are the episodes? Because I've been looking for stuff to watch in the mornings when I'm trying to get unfat.
here's the difference: is the alien is actually legitimately questioning why people are doing certain things and is confused by it.
Right.
I'm doing it just to be a D.
Oh, okay.
Because I know why. Like I understand how the world works and how people work.
Is this just your way of low-key hating? Is it a low-key hating?
It's like real life trolling.
Okay.
Like,
Oh, wow.
Like
People love those people.
Yeah,
People love real life trolling.
Yeah. No one likes it. By the way, my wife hates it. You hate it. Everybody
Did you
around
say
me
your
hates
sons
it.
hate it?
No, Tommy loves it because
Okay, Tommy loves
he
it.
was born like me, so he does the same thing. He questions Max all the time. Max hates it because Tommy's like, "Why are you doing this?" Like he's maybe closer to the alien because he hasn't had the life experience. Once he gets older, he'll still do it, but he'll understand why people are doing it.
Is there any way out? No way out?
Yeah. There's you just stop saying it to people.
Right, but it's still there.
No,
it's like my anxiety then.
You live the same life and you think the same things. You just keep it inside and you stop voicing it.
Okay.
And or questioning because people get tired of hearing it, and then you just live a frustrating life.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
And then, but I guess you then finally succumb to this is just the way things are.
Well,
and there's no changing it.
Everybody's got quirks and things of, because everybody's truly unique and the way that their brain operates. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And then I imagine like my pop-up did, you just buy some property and you live by yourself.
Oh, I've always wanted that.
Yeah.
I want that.
Yeah. And then you just, you spend a lifetime of solitude, basically.
Just always looking around your house going, what is that? Why do people like that? Why do people like this house? Why do I like this chair? Why am I even sitting down? Why am I doing this?
You stop interacting with the public, and then you just, he just watched Westerns and boxing. He understands that.
That's pretty good.
And then he has no idea what's going on and doesn't want to know.
I do love a Western.
Yeah.
Maybe my dad was like low-key doing that when he passed because he had already fallen into only Andy Griffith sun up to sundown and riding his motorcycle alone.
Yeah.
He would ride his motorcycle to Daytona alone. He would ride it back. He would like get something to eat there alone.
Yeah.
Then he would ride it back alone. Then he would sit with Maggie the dog and watch Andy Griffith, shows that he liked alone.
I'm starting to think, I wonder if my grandfather didn't do the stereotype of most grandfathers where you watch the news all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
good for him.
Everybody,
smart guy.
But why? But now I'm thinking of, I wonder why. He just wasn't interested. He wasn't interested in current events or the news or anything like most of the other old people in my life now.
Well, he kind of lived it, too. I kind of feel like his generation mattered. Like, when you've gone to war, I feel like when you come back, and the news is a lot of war, that you're just like, I'm good with the boxing.
No, but other people watch the news all the time.
Yeah.
Other old people love watching the news. That's their thing. Like
He was also pretty good at drawing a line in the sand. You know, like he gambled at one time. He's like, I'll never gamble
Yeah,
again.
yeah, yeah.
I tried this. I'll never try it again.
But
He's disciplined.
But I have that where I'm not interested and I'm confused by it. I'm like, why the hell are all these old people watching the news and just getting angry all day long? Because I'm like, you can't do anything about it, and you're just getting angry. Why are you doing it?
I think in a lot of ways, feeling like you're gaining information or taking information in is slowing down time. I think that's what people think.
But it's like I never understood it, and I still don't understand
you
it.
won't.
And so I don't think when I grow up and get old,
Yeah.
I grow up.
Just like we don't understand how like you're just like something bad will happen and you're like, there's like nothing. There's nothing in the meter, and I'm like, come on, man.
No, it moves
No,
the
but
needle.
there are certain
bad-
things that it
yeah.
won't. I'm just saying there's certain things that I won't. Just in the same regard, like I'll do something and you'll be like, I do not understand that. It goes both ways. you know?
Yeah.
Let's try this one from Clay. Dan, Tom, and potential couch guest. Dan was mentioning wanting to start a right-wing surf band on a recent podcast. I told you not to tell anyone. The only right-wing surfer song I could think of was Skeet Surfing in the Val Kilmer movie Top Secret. Then I was wondering if y'all are good at skeet shooting or if you've ever been skeet shooting. I did it once when I was young and wasn't a natural. Otherwise, the only time I did skeet shooting is challenging friends at the hunting arcade at a local bar. I do love watching a shotgun shell pop out. Clay. I was I forget what year it was. I was the Jim Phillips Celebrity Shoot Champion one year.
Yeah, that was
I won that
before I
thing.
got into radio, but it must have been like
I still remember what I got.
2000, 2001.
I still remember what I got.
99.
Out of 100 shots, I got 68.
That's good.
That was pretty good.
And were you just naturally good at skeet shooting, or have you
I had gone
shot
out there
skeet before?
I'd gone out there a couple times to the TM Ranch and shot with different members of the family just for fun because you could take your own gun out there and shoot.
Yeah.
So I have a skeet gun, so I would take it out there. And also, they did some work on my skeet gun for me to make it like better because it was given to me by my grandfather.
All right.
So I went out there and I don't know, maybe shot 4 times before the event.
Okay.
So I had a little practice, yeah.
But still, that's not that many. You must be naturally just good at tracking and shooting skeet because it's difficult.
Here's what I would say: they had the course set up very easy, and I take direction well, and I'm a quick learner. But you're just leading shock. It wasn't hard. Other people were getting in their heads and freaking out about it. I don't know. Maybe I was just like, and it feels rhythmic to me. And if it's anything like where you have to lead it at a certain thing, it's almost like that becomes almost like drums to me. Like I can, you know what I mean? Like I got into a rhythm doing it, and you lead it, and then that way you get the right amount of spray.
Yeah.
And then no matter what, I was getting all targets.
I mean, it's that is impressive.
But I haven't done it in 20 years, so I don't know. Probably couldn't do it again.
Imagine telling Dr. Skeet whenever it was invented, let's say 1930, when he was pressing the clay, and he's like, one day we'll shoot these, we'll slingshot these out, and people will shoot them with shotguns. We'll call it skeet shooting. And then telling him, skeet will also
How would you even say that?
be a term in the future.
For what comes out?
For number 4.
stuff. Yeah.
And he'd be like, what? It doesn't make any sense. And they're like, oh, yeah. And then that's going to happen.
Yeah, but then everybody there, like, I think Dirty Jim was like, oh, it's just because you're fat and play video games. You know, it was like, everybody's like yelling at me. I should have called him Dirty Jim. That wasn't fair. Jim Colbert's yelling at me, all these, because he got competitive.
Yeah.
And I was on Carrot Top's team, of all people.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
So.
And we won, dude. We won the whole thing.
I remember when they did that. And
that was by far, in my personal opinion as a broadcaster, the most fun radio event we ever did was the Jim Phillips Celebrity Shoot. Because it was so weird.
Yeah. I mean, nowadays, think about you're like, I'm going to give a bunch of random listeners shotguns. And then
take them into old Florida swamp and have them shoot.
Yeah. And then we'll all be around holding loaded shotguns, waiting for our turn to shoot.
It was amazing.
And it was like, if you ever wanted to kill your favorite radio personality. This is. I mean, what does it cost?
Prime shooting.
Yeah, I mean,
It was
just
expensive. It was expensive.
As easy as it gets, though. Yeah, but well, you're not getting out of there. So it doesn't really matter how expensive.
I
it
still
is.
know some of the people that were on my team. They will occasionally they will message me and be like, "Hell yeah! Don't forget we're the champs."
No, really?
Yeah.
That's funny. I remember listening to the station when that was going on.
Dude, one of the best. That was, in my opinion, seriously, because it was so unique.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know if you could even. Yeah, I don't think you could do that again.
I remember like the story when the Team Ranch sold that property.
Oh yeah, bum me out.
And they had to get a company to
The Holland family, they're good people.
Yeah.
Really good people.
And there's a lot of old Florida families that just like have inherited like from their great grandfather, like when he came to Florida for the first time, he got like
original Florida cracker
man. He got 2,000 acres for doing some fixing a tractor or whatever.
Wasn't it
giving
also
away.
considered? Wasn't it also considered almost like uninhabitable swampland?
Yeah. And my grandfather did the same thing in the 60s. That's where he got his property in St. Cloud.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so they had to pay a company to take the top inch layer of dirt from an insane amount of area. It was like 100 acres or whatever, or like 25 acres, I guess, somewhere around. Because of all the pellets in there, they had to clean it up before they sold it. I remember it was like it cost them an insane amount of money to do that. But then you're also selling, that 25 acres for millions of dollars.
I probably, just knowing me the way I know me, would not have disclosed we had put billions of pellets in. That's just going on what I know about myself.
Yeah.
I may not have disclosed that.
Yeah. I don't know how, if...
Isn't that what Wizard does? Isn't he environmental scientist? So he would go and say, hey, the correct way to clean this up is X?
Yeah, but he does like swampland delineation.
There was a lot of swamp out there.
Yeah.
They had a ton of swampland out there because a couple times Jim Colbert, when he was out there, they had like hunting cabins that were like right adjacent to the swamp.
Yeah.
That he was out at.
I mean, all of Florida is either different versions of swamp. Basically, there's swamp, there's lowlands, and this is swamp. But apparently, his job was to go out and determine where the swamp started because you can't build on swampland, or because something's protected or whatever. And then gopher, tortoises. If you see any of those, that's a
God. My mom had one of those before she sold her house.
Yeah, you can't move it. You can't mess with it. It's protected.
And it finally left. But they said she could build an addition to the house.
Okay.
And lock it in.
Lock
it inside, and then you could just hear it trying to bite through the drywall, and he'll die in there. No, they didn't say that. I made that up.
Well, the wizard did tell me that if a developer wants to develop land, right, and let's say they hire a company, and then the company finds out there are gopher tortoises on this land. So they have the option. They have two options. One is to hire a company to relocate them all, right? And then another is to pay extra, like a bunch extra, and then you could just entomb them. You can pay extra to just kill them all. And I'm like, really?
That's called the
and I'm like,
Metallica.
goddamn. I'm like, that seems like it shouldn't be an option for anything protected, but no, it's not an option.
Bad. That's imagine if you're just in there.
But
you're in there tending to your eggs, and you just see the concrete start getting built. Hey guys, what are you doing?
Bald eagles, there's nothing you can do. If there's a bald eagle nest, then you can't build around it or disturb it until it leaves naturally.
Yeah,
I did tell him.
How big are those in real life? Like if we had one sitting in here,
I think as big as his desk.
Okay, with a big old wingspan.
Yeah.
Is it unruly? Is it naturally just unruly? Would it just be naturally scratch pecking everything in here, or could it stand?
I don't know.
Could it just stand quietly?
I don't know. I've seen them in captivity, and they just sit there. But I have no idea if that's the natural. They just run away from you.
The only ones I think I've seen in person are the brown eagles.
Oh, you've seen a bald eagle around.
I don't know. Maybe an injured one. I don't remember it.
They're around here.
No. I mean flying around. I've seen, but I mean up close.
Oh,
The only ones I've seen face to face are those brown eagles. There's this is an eagle too, and I'm like, I don't know. I've seen bald eagles. They have white. They got the white thing.
Yeah. Anyway, let's take a break, and we will not be back. So we will be
Where
gone.
are we going?
We're just gone.
Oh, let me get my eagle. All right. Good job, buddy. That's a nice little tangent. And do we have a date on that?
That is Thursday.
This Thursday? Okay, gotcha. I got it. 7-Eleven. Are they giving away Slurpees? All right. Guys, have a wonderful lunch. And we will see you back here in a little bit. Sandhill cranes sound way cooler than an eagle. They do sound cooler. What's good to